Welcome back. Thank you for staying with the Hot 7 Nightly News. The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, is on a mission to sensitize and prepare St. Lucians for the possibility of a tsunami. Special emphasis is being placed on businesses, residents, and especially schools located in and near coastal areas. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, is doing its part to get the nation prepared and sensitized in case of an incoming tsunami. For many years, the organization has spoken about the region being due for a major earthquake, which could cause a tsunami as well. However, they are now putting their words into action. NEMO's Program Development Officer, Andrew George, revealed that there is another major component which could set off a tsunami.
Coming from the 2004 tsunami in Indonesia, the Pacific Tsunami Early Warning Center decided that they have to get the countries in the Caribbean more prepared for tsunamis because any body of ocean can produce a tsunami. It's more prevalent in the Pacific, but also the Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea can and have produced tsunamis in the past. So since 2004, the decision was taken that every year the Caribbean would have a regional tsunami exercise called Carib Wave. This year, we are simulating a tsunami coming from the underwater volcano Kikemjeni of Grenada. It will simulate eruption of that volcano, producing a tsunami which will arrive in the Castries area in 22 minutes.
At the moment, George said schools are the main target, but other factions will be added to the list as well.
We are simulating with the schools and collaborating with the Ministry of Education to evacuate the schools in the Castries area. We also will be opening up to businesses and also residents of Castries if they want to participate, to register and also participate because it's an exercise for everybody. A tsunami impacting the Castries Basin will impact all businesses and all persons. However, we are working with the Ministry of Education to evacuate a number of schools in the Castries area. We have not finalized the number of schools participating. We probably will do that a little later. But it is to bring awareness to the schools, particularly on the threat of a tsunami. The Kikemjeni, the underwater volcano, is now at an elevated threat level, so which means that the threat of an underwater eruption is imminent, and also we have to pay attention to that threat.
The upcoming simulation, he said, will forge a way for a much improved system to ensure efficiency and organization is on point in the event of such a disaster. The main aim is to look at the level of preparedness in every country taking part in the exercise.
Following that, all the countries will be represented at the post-evaluation meeting in Costa Rica in April, where we'll all be looking at what our challenges, what we saw, what we did, how we did it, and also to look at how we can best strengthen the early warning systems in the Caribbean. One of the recommendations that came from a past exercise was to have a Caribbean tsunami early warning system. That is in train, and that is something that is going to happen. So recommendations come, and we want to make sure that the Caribbean particularly develops a post-event culture where any lessons learned from those exercises are actualized and dealt with. Right now we have several avenues to disseminate the information to the public. We have tsunami sirens, which we'll be testing. The tsunami sirens are in Castries, Ancillary, Canaries, Dennery for now. We're trying to put it in the rest of the communities as we have the funding. We also have broadcast interrupt with free radio stations, Helen 100, RCI, and Hot FM. So we also be able to break into the broadcast of those stations and also to announce to the public. So between the sirens, the broadcast interrupt, and we also have a mobile app, which is cap.cap, which we'll also be testing. So those are the main, and of course the television, also text messages. So we'll be sending all of those out. So we have those avenues to get the message to the public. We'll be exercising all of them to see how fast we can get those messages to the public and how quickly the message is then actioned by members of the public.
The simulation exercise will take place across the entire Caribbean chain, as well as Canada and France, at around 10 a.m. on the 14th of March. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
The head of an all-girls primary school is urging parents and guardians of girls to pay closer attention to the actions and social lives of the youngsters. The girls, she says, are being controlled by technology as opposed to being guided properly by parents.
An appeal is being sent out to parents of girls who attend the Ave Maria Girls Primary School to do more to protect their daughters, as the school has continued to record a sharp rise in burdens carried by the youngsters, causing them to need counseling and, in some cases, police and state intervention. Valerie St. Helen Henry, who is the principal of the primary school, said, whilst all schools have their issues, one filled with prepubescent girls only has issues a lot more complex than normal. St. Helen Henry said it is alarming to see the lack of support and discipline being given to the girls. One particular area of concern which she has is the manner in which youngsters use mobile smartphones.
This is so serious that, the girls are exposed to making friends with adults, other male counterparts out there who engage them in sexual behaviors, sexual acts, and we have read some of those things on the cell phones. We also have girls who the parents do not have any rules as to what time you get home. They are out there, they come home anytime, and there's no punishment, nothing in relation to that. It's okay, it's no big deal that they can get home at 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock without any form of reprimand. And these are some of the concerns and our safety of our girls. We are very concerned about that, and the parents need to give a lot more attention to their girls and their whereabouts, and to be checking on their friends, who they interact with, what is happening on their phones. And I will repeat, the phones are dangerous. They have good, we try to teach them to make good use of the phones, but if they are not monitored, if they are not checked on, our girls are going astray. And the phones, this is a device that the parents need to pay close attention to.
The principal said while she understands that some parents do try their best and that circumstances beyond their control may pose hindrances, the well-being of their children should come before everything else. She said in some cases, even parents need parenting help, as they are simply unable to take on the task efficiently.
What is coming out of those meetings is that the girls, we give them a lot of pressure, and as I told my teachers, the problem it's not the girls, but the parents. The parents themselves need help. They don't know how to take care of their girls. They do not just to put food on the table and dressing them up, but the counseling, the relationship that they should have with their girls. So we have a lot of those parents who need that help, and for sure, one of the things that they are crying out for, and we have tried it before but not consistently, is the issue of having parent workshops, bringing in persons to speak to them, referring them for counseling as well, because some of them, the ripple effect, where some of them, they had their girls, they had children young, and it's like it's a continuous thing. Some of them have gone through certain trauma as well when they were younger, and so it continues from one generation to the next.
For parents with strenuous work hours, the principal said parents need to find a safe support system where no matter what, the children are being kept safe and supervised as well. The district councillor, she said, is inundated with cases from the school, and so the need has arisen for a counsellor to be assigned to the school itself.
a lot of our girls go through a lot of trauma. For example, those who have witnessed violence, those who live in areas where every other night there's a shooting, and it affects them, who have witnessed their own relative being killed. You know, a number of social issues that affect the girls. And it just in one summer, the cases that we bring to the district councillor is like a lot more than other schools. So in one school alone, with about 63 cases of children who have gone through certain trauma and so on, the district councillor alone cannot deal with that because she has to go to other schools.
It takes a village, she said, to raise a child, and it is important to bring back these values, especially where young girls are concerned. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Now, as rumors continue to swirl about alleged changes being made to the Principals Upgrade System, the Vice President of the Principals Association is clearing the air on the matter.
One of the latest rumors to fall off the rumor mill has been cleared up by the Vice President of the Principals Association, Valerie St. Helen Henry. According to reports, principals in schools across St. Lucia would no longer be upgraded after every 5 years of service, but instead, a new mechanism would be implemented to allow them to rise in the ranks according to the performance of their respective schools. On Friday morning, this was quickly debunked and cleared up by St. Helen Henry.
There's no such thing as that. According to what I've been told, is that the principals are going to be upgraded the normal way, that based on the policies presently. However, what is the growing concern that the ministry would like to call on, they will be having meetings with principals where the schools are not performing, not just in 1 year, but over a period of time. They call it the non-performing schools, to more or less have a discussion, brainstorming, to find out what are some of the issues, why the low performance, and basically to see what do they need, what tools do they need to see how they can help assist the schools in changing that trend of being a low performing school.
The principal said this is in no way linked to the upgrade system.
There are many factors which affects a school in terms of performance. So I don't think they are going that way, but they want accountability in terms of why is this school not performing over 5 years? How can we help? What are some of the issues that the schools are being faced, and to see how they can work together to rectify that issue.
The VP said this will not be aimed at blaming and shaming principals of low-performing schools. Instead, it is aimed at improving the situations for teachers and students alike. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Amidst all the controversy surrounding the ban on West Indies captain Jason Holder, the captain himself is speaking out, saying that the focus should remain on the stellar performance of the team thus far. Holder, who spoke exclusively to Hot 7 News, gave insight into the upcoming third test, where England will take on West Indies from the 9th to the 12th at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds.
As cricket fans gear up for an exciting third test to be held in St. Lucia, where England will play West Indies in the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium for the very first time, the West Indies captain, Jason Holder, says that he is expecting his team to continue its triumphant defeat of England and finish off the test with a resounding result.
Well, we just got to be consistent, We've obviously won the series already, but we still want to gather some points to move up the rankings. So we know what's at stake in this game. We spoke about being consistent, and we just want to be as disciplined as we possibly can throughout this entire test match. And I think starting a test match is crucial. And, hopefully if you're in the field or we're batting, we start the test match well.
Meanwhile, the captain addressed the current ban imposed on him by the ICC, to which many have called for a modification of the rule. He says that the team looks to move forward and make corrections as necessary.
Yeah, it's hard to finish a game in 3 days and then, end up being suspended for a slow over it. But it is what it is. I've accepted it. We knew where we were at the stage of the game when the game was finished, and we knew before that we were behind in terms of the over it as well. So it's something we just definitely need to pay attention to. I think this is probably my third offence. and the third ban they've had. So, something that we definitely need to pay attention to and correct in the future.
With the captain on band for the upcoming match as a result of slow over rates, leading the charge for the West Indies cricket team will be Craig Bradwith, who has gotten the nod of approval from Holder. Holder says that the team also looks forward to the support from the St. Lucian public.
No, I'm really confident. I think the group is to the point where now everybody knows what's expected of them. It's not a case where we just hone in on one particular leader. I think every individual knows what's required of them, and we've got leaders within the team. So I think things should run quite smoothly. It's just a matter for us to, as I said before, start the game well and take whatever momentum we start the game with throughout the entire Test match. Fans in St. Lucia obviously adore cricket. They normally come out in their numbers and support. So. But us being 2-love up in the series and pretty much clinching the series, I expect them to come out in their numbers as well. There's been a large gathering of English supporters, as you would expect, but yeah, hopefully we can get a few Lucians around to rival with them in the stands.
The captain took the time to highlight the amazing partnership formed between Sandals and the West Indies cricket team, to which he says he looks forward to a continued collaboration for the betterment of West Indies cricket. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. Stay with us. There's much more coming up after this quick break.